Hey there, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Tonight, we're going to take a long, quiet walk through one of the most uncomfortable cities in history, medieval London. Now, if you've ever complained about traffic, noisy neighbors, or overpriced coffee, just wait until you hear about life in the year 1350. Trust me, you'd want to time travel straight back to the present. But hey, before we get into the smells, the sounds, and the suffering of medieval street life, do me a tiny favor. If you're enjoying this kind of slow, sleepy storytelling, give the video a like. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. And I'd really love to hear from you in the comments. Maybe tell me what brought you here tonight and where you're listening from. Whether you're battling insomnia, just love history, or ended up here by accident, you're welcome. All right, take a breath. Get comfortable. Close your eyes, if you'd like. Let's travel back to 14th century London and see if you'd last a single day. So, it's 1350. The Black Death has just recently passed through. And by passed through, I mean it devastated the population. Over half the city gone. And what remains? A crowded, noisy, muddy city, clinging to survival. You wake up, but not in a soft bed with fluffy pillows. Nope, you're lying on a pile of straw. It's flat, scratchy, and crawling with a few guests, bedbugs, fleas, maybe a mouse, depending on how lucky you are. Your home is probably a small wooden structure with one room for sleeping, eating, and pretty much everything else. There's no bathroom, no privacy, and definitely no heating. You stretch, but not too far. The beams are low, and hitting your head on a splintered ceiling beam is a bad way to start the day. There's no light switch, just a tiny window that lets in the gray glow of a smoky London morning. Breakfast, well, forget eggs and bacon. You're having yesterday's bread, if you have any left. It's probably a little hard, maybe moldy. You dip it in ale to soften it up. That's right. Ale for breakfast. Water isn't safe. Everyone drinks ale. Even children. Not to get tipsy, it's just cleaner than the Thames. Speaking of the Thames, you can probably smell it before you see it. That river is used for everything. Washing clothes, dumping waste, moving goods, and, unfortunately, getting rid of dead animals. You step outside. Instant regret. The smell hits you like a wet sack of rotten onions. The narrow streets are packed with people. Mud, animal droppings, people yelling, carts clattering, dogs barking, children crying, and pigs just casually walking around, eating scraps. Above you, houses lean in over the street, built so close they almost touch, as if the buildings are whispering secrets to each other. And then there's the constant fear of things falling on you. Waste, chamber pots, dirty water. People are supposed to shout "guard" before dumping it from above, but not everyone does. You learn to keep your mouth closed and move fast. You pass vendors shouting over each other, trying to sell their fish, bread, herbs, and something that might have once been cheese. The fish has been sitting out since sunrise. It's now nearly noon. It smells like a dare. There's no refrigeration, no plastic wrap, no hygiene standards. If the flies aren't interested, maybe neither should you be. If you're lucky enough to have a job, your day starts early and ends late. Most people are laborers, apprentices, or craftspeople. You could be a blacksmith's assistant, hauling coal and burning your hands. Or a tanner working with animal hides in pools of urine. Yes, literal urine. That's how they soften the leather. Or maybe, just maybe, you're a gong farmer. You clean out cesspits all day. That's your job. And people still look down on you. Wages are low. Days are long. And if you're sick, tough luck. There are no hospitals like we know today. A barber surgeon might treat you. That means someone who cuts hair and limbs. Same guy. One blade. No anesthesia. Feeling brave. He'll pull your tooth with pliers. No gloves. No antiseptic. Maybe a sip of ale. Good luck. Women have it just as hard. Maybe harder. Work is domestic. The law isn't on your side. And medicine? Forget it. Most doctors think women are naturally unbalanced. Due to the moon? Yes, that's an actual belief. At noon, the church bells ring. The city pauses. Religion is everywhere. Every street has a cross. Every day has a saint. Every fear has a prayer. If something bad happens, it's because someone sinned. Can't read, doesn't matter. The Bible's in Latin anyway. Superstition runs wild. Black cats. Itchy palms. Comets. Bad omens. Maybe your neighbor's a witch. Better not look suspicious. The afternoon doesn't get better. You step around beggars, watch street performers juggle knives, and try not to breathe too deeply near the butchers. Sometimes there's a hanging. Public executions are a form of entertainment. People bring snacks. Kids ask questions. No one blinks twice. The line between justice and cruelty is blurry, and often crossed. You get through your workday. Somehow. Maybe you sell a few loaves of bread. Maybe you survive another day, digging ditches. Maybe you just avoid getting robbed. By sunset, the sky turns orange over the smoky rooftops. You head home. The streets quiet down. But not in a peaceful way. In a dangerous way. No street lights. Just darkness. Lanterns, if you can afford them. Thieves lurk. Fights break out. Fires start. People go missing. You stay indoors if you're smart. You eat dinner by firelight. Another chunk of bread, a bit of cheese, maybe some weak stew if you got lucky at the market. The stew's been cooking all day. It includes whatever was around. Potatoes aren't even a thing yet. Those came later. So, turnips, lots of turnips. After dinner, there's not much to do. No books, no phones, no TV. You sit, maybe tell a story, maybe listen to the wind rattle the shutters. Your neighbors argue through thin walls. A dog barks in the alley. Somewhere, a baby cries. You lie back down on your straw bed. Wrap your blanket tight, if you have one, and hope the fire and tea go out. Outside, the rain starts. Dripping through the thatch roof, you listen, you breathe. And despite it all, the filth, the noise, the disease, the danger, there is something strangely peaceful about falling asleep to the sound of the rain in a time long gone. It's easy to forget how lucky we are. Clean water, warm beds, electricity, socks that match. So, would you last a day in medieval London? Probably not. But for now, you don't have to. You can stay right here. Safe, warm, drifting off to sleep while the city of the past fades into quiet. If you're still with me, thank you. Sleep well. Dream of simpler or stranger times, and I'll see you in the next one. Good night.